So thanks for having us. So I'm Puiyin, as Martin said, I'm a PhD student at Lancaster University, but I'm also the Neil Innovation Scholarship Manager at Queen Mary. Do you want to?
I'm John Brindle. I feel like this is like one of those meetings, where people sit in a circle and things. Also a PhD student at Lancaster University, studying inclusive practice, but I also work as Learning Design Manager at Edge Hill University, which is a really tiny university in the northwest of England. It's not that tiny.
Yeah, so our colleague Francie and Brett can't be with us today because, quite frankly, they don't go out very much. But yeah, there's always one, in this case too. So today we're going to talk to you about how we accidentally built a community off of the back of a webinar series that we have been running since the beginning of 2020, I think, using give or take. So it all starts with being nosy. That is the fact. I think the core flows of communities are begun with someone being nosy. In this case, that was me. The story goes a little something like that. I was in a supervision meeting with one of our supervisors, Professor Don Hassey, and I can't even remember what we talked about. And I just asked out of the blue a random question: "What did you do before you became an educator?" And he said, "Oh, I worked in the NHS, and I was a teacher, and I did 110 other things." And I said, "Can you come and talk to my cohort of peers? Because I think it'd be quite interesting for us to learn about how you become the great Professor Don Hassey, because he's quite well known in the kind of TEL research world." And he said, "Of course." And I think we had a conversation because I approached John. I said, shall we do a closed meeting, or shall we go down a hard route and open it up to the community? And we decided to go down a hard route, and that's when I kind of recruited John and Francie, and the rest is as you see it. So
yeah, so one of the big findings that we found is that actually quite well-established researchers like sharing their journey with us, apart from not just their research. So one of the things that we found is that we've got some really interesting journeys, and for new researchers like us, actually hearing where people have come from and gone to is really important. And so we some like Professor Vivian Hodgson came and shared her journey with us, and that was just amazing. And so people are just so willing to share, and I think that it's important to point out the ethos of the TEL researchers and HE researchers is that it's not about your latest research paper. It's about you as a researcher and where you've come from and how you've become that person that we might read and we might cite, so that we can be inspired by that. And it's very selfish because we just wanted to be inspired. We just wanted to find out and go,
it's for us.
How did you end up there? Kind of thing. So
it's really for us, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Shall we go?
Yeah, next slide.
So as I said earlier, and John alluded to the fact that we just wanted to be nosy. I mean, it would be a bit creepy for us to email someone to say, "Can we have a one-to-one meeting with you about your life?" Quite frankly. So we just thought we'll create a channel really for a community of peers to get together. I think when we started, it wasn't that popular. It was maybe a few people who turned up, but gradually a community has formed. I think in the last year in particular, we're seeing a lot of regular attendees, new people as well, because everyone is welcome. It's free. We'll talk about it later. It just for me personally, it's a check-in point every month to see John, because we only see each other like twice a year in person. Today's the first time we see each other in 2024, in fact. So it's checking with John and checking with other colleagues because doing a PhD is very lonely. You work in isolation, but I think this community that was created by the community is the hub in a way for us to kind of just make sure everyone is doing okay, quite frankly. Just wanted to show you a little bit of just a map of our peers. I can't really say a number. I think 39 countries. To be quite frank, some of the countries got one person who joined us, but that doesn't matter. We're not gonna tell you that bit. So I think we never thought that would happen. We honestly thought that would be a thing that would last for a few months and then gradually fade away. But I think we're going quite strong. We'll talk about resources in a bit later about the kind of engagement, but just wanted to show you a visual map of where our peers are. Because we started in Lancaster, we thought the community at best would be a Lancaster community. So this is absolutely beyond our wildest dream.
Yeah. So it's me now, isn't it?
Yes.
So one of the big things about creating this community is about creating opportunities. So I never ever thought I read. Oh, do I need to stand here? Hi. I never thought that I would be sat in a meeting with Vivian Hodgson, for example, and then be able to say to her and ask her questions about her career. And Jane Secker as well, who I was a big fan of before we met her and spoke to her on TEL Researchers, and then subsequently met her at AltC as well. And actually we're getting to know quite a lot of these well-established researchers. And as PhD students, seeing and speaking and realizing that what you might think is somebody who's unobtainable in a lot of ways, is actually just a normal person, and they want to speak about it, and they're passionate about what they do, irrespective of citations and things like that. It's actually a really exciting thing. We've actually got some really good quotes from other people who've attended and people who've participated. So yeah, this actually said "quote me, baby" originally. So we've actually put the quotes in now. So these sessions, this was I can't remember. So yeah, these sessions have nurtured a strong and cohesive community where creative ideas can be shared in a safe but challenging environment, which is really nice. Big fan of the series. Puiyin and John have created, so we had to put that in. That's a bit of a plug. And seeing you two running these sessions have made me feel like I can carry on with my PhD as well. So that was somebody who was struggling with their PhD and said, actually, I feel like I can carry on because I'm inspired. And I think it's about that inspiration as well, and bringing that inspiration to early career researchers and people who are kind of just starting on this journey of precarious contracts. Sorry, at universities.
Sorry, I can't be serious in front of John. That's not how I normally behave. I do apologize, everyone. It's all about being open. As I said earlier, everything's free. We never even consider asking for money. Interestingly, I had a big fear at the beginning of the series. I said, what if someone we approach want money? What do we do then? I think he said, we don't offer money, get them the job done. But luckily, nobody, not a single person, even Vivian Hodgson, even Paul Ashwin, but he can't because he's my supervisor. All this great professor, no one has ever even asked or entertained the idea of asking. I think it's a sense of commitment they have, it's a sense of being educated. They need to kind of educate the next generation. You wouldn't work in education if you don't want to. And I think it gives them, again, accidentally, a channel to reflect, because we got a really lovely email from Vivian Hodgson the day after her session, that was last month, saying, thanks very much. You guys have given me a space to reflect on my 50 years of working in higher education. And that meant a lot, because that wasn't our intention. As we both said, it's absolutely self-serving. It's not, but it's quite nice to hear these big professors, people we thought we would never speak to actually appreciate the space we've created for them as well. And also the openness as well. All the resources are online on our YouTube channel. We're never going to charge anyone anything. And recently we have uploaded all the content onto the National Teaching Repository. So if someone wants to quote those resources, because they're great resources, then each of the recording now has a DOI attached to them as well. So we just kind of want to, give something back, because personally I've been given a lot by this community. So I think it's our turn to sort of give something back in our small weight. So over to you.
But nothing to do with the fact that the NTR is hosted by Edgehill University. And
also, on the financial incentive, if I could just say, the only party that's benefited money-wise is Lancaster University.
So we are asking for our royalties from Lancaster University.
We're still waiting for the payment bill. I know you're there to see you. So just
one of the great things as well, obviously, we're both distance education students. Puiyin, you live in near Northampton way or somewhere outside. Yeah,
somewhere.
I'm in the north of England. Puiyin was in London for a long time, and actually, this idea of creating friendships through doing something like this, we've become really close friends. You've met my family and all that kind of thing. I've still not met Patch, which I'm really disappointed about. But we've got but also the friends that we've made through it as well, in terms of people that we know that we can talk to, people that we know that we can contact. And I think that comes from that open practice, is that actually, if you're friendly and open with things, then you can build that culture around what you're doing, and actually, you know, build some contacts, build some friends, outside of just being mercenary and wanting to further your career, you know. So it's just about, you know, it's about being kind and open. And I think that's what, for me, the series brings to me, is that all these people have been very kind with their time. They've all been very open with their time. And it shows that there's some joy. So we're going to give you the names of the people who contributed to this series. So you can you probably recognise quite a few of them and things like that. But these are all the people who've contributed so far. And then we've got our upcoming list as well. And we've got, so on the 24th of this month, we've got Professor Gilly Salmon. In March, we've got Dave Cormier. And in June, we've got Professor Paul Trowler. We haven't got anyone from May yet.
Feel free to volunteer yourself. And at this point, I just wanted to bring a criticality into, because, you know, I think we intended for this talk to be quite lighthearted, but I just wanted to bring a critical point to kind of draw the end as well. As you can see from all the names, just have a quick look at their surnames, if you don't know who they are, and also the people who are coming up. You can probably see a trend. They're all very white, and it's not intentional. And I'm saying it from someone who isn't white. The problem is projects like this, or any project operating in the Western society, mimic the society that we live in. And it's a problem that hurts both of us, I think. But unfortunately, we don't have a solution. So this is an open invitation to anyone online in the room as well. If you have a solution, let us know. What we don't want to do is to invite a person of color just because of their person of color. We want to invite people because there's something interesting to say. It's not saying they don't exist. I'm sure there's plenty of us out there, but it's just a case of finding the right contact. And we are fully aware of the fact that this is a problem in terms of the demographics, but it's a challenge that we can't quite solve, I think. So please to sign up. Julie's session is almost full, but I'm sure she can open up more room if she, you know. And before we draw the session to a close, I would like to make an open proposal, public proposal to Dr. Martin Compton. If she come to my session, that session, please.
You just said there's no money. So.
I can give.
I'll be glad.
I would go down on one knee if I have to. Martin and I actually talked about this a couple of times in the last year, but it's one of those things that we all have busy lives, and we haven't quite followed it up. So I thought this would be a great opportunity to invite. I don't mean May, because that's, you know, but at some point this year, would you join us, please? Yeah. Thank you very much. So we're gonna just draw the session to a close and open up questions and discussion. Feel free to follow us and subscribe, whoever that would practice. Like and subscribe below. You know, we do under sort of like a YouTube channel. Any comments or anyone you want to invite or you want to come to give a talk, please do get in touch anytime you like.
I forgot to ask. I spoke to Laura before. I forgot to ask her, and that's my fault. I'm sure there's somebody in this room who could contact her and say, you know what, we'd be really great to have you on there. Because we're having Gilly Salmon, so we should have Laura as well. So. And
finally, last time when we did a similar presentation, we got slated because we forgot the most important member of the team.
The actual the kingpin behind it all.
That's the part. That's the cat. So
working hard.
She is working hard. We're just the typist because, you know, her pause and all that. But thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.